Hi everyone, I'm Ferd and welcome to my video. I'm working on a 2007 Ford Ranger. What I'm going to be doing can pertain to a lot of different years of this particular truck. One of the problems that they've had with them is rust, especially back there up under the bed. Now the area that I'm working on here is the pan that holds up the spare tire. These things will rust, and if you don't take care of it, or take your spare tire down and toss it off into the yard somewhere, it's going to come off into the highway and could possibly cause a serious accident. I haven't heard of this happening too much, but the potential is very much there. This truck was about 9 years old when I replaced this pan, but the thing about it was I didn't put a new pan on it. I'll show you in the video what I did to repair the truck. Let's go out in my garage, put a new spare tire pan on the back of this little Ford Ranger. Enjoy the video. The pans on these trucks are crucial to the support of the frame. You have your rear axle back there, the bumper, your pulling trailers. There's a lot of stress and bending and twisting that's going on back there. So you have to keep that in mind, that when you cut this pan off of there, you're cutting off a crucial piece of the frame. I've already mentioned that the truck was 9 years old when I did this repair on the truck. I've waited 6 years since I've put it on there to actually make this video. I did this on purpose, not making the video, because I wanted to be sure that I shared this only if I knew that it was going to be safe and effective. This is a gearbox that raises and lowers your spare tire. And I want you to look how close that thing is to that rail going across the bottom of that bed. Very little clearance. The reason I'm bringing this up is because before you take your pan off of the truck to replace it, get every measurement that you possibly can to help you get this thing up there in the right position when you put it back. You don't have much room to play with there. I'm giving you the measurements off of my truck the best that I can. If you study the pictures I give you and see where everything lands as far as where I've welded the pipes on the two sides, it'll give you a general idea. You have to lay straight bars across the top of the frame, take measurements down from the top of it to see how far down that plate is going to be, how far back it's going to be from a certain point, and take measurements, as many as you can, to try to get this as accurate as you can before you put your bed on. If you weld it all together like I did and put your bed on there, it's possible that it don't fit. The only other option that I can think of is to weld that plate on there after you put your bed on. But you get a much better weld when you're welding down instead of up over your head. I'm going to start with taking the bed off of the truck. Open your gas lid, take your cap off, and remove those 3 bolts under there. Go up underneath it, unplug all the wires. There should be just one plug, and then pull that bumper off of it. If you can think of it, before you start this project, if you got a few days, start spraying the heck out of the bolts that hold that bed down to the frame. I used ratchet straps to pull this thing up off of the truck. Ran some eye bolts into a couple of boards I had across the trusses, and got a few friends. You can actually lift this thing off and walk it off the back of it. I've got the old truck out from under the bed, and at this point I really didn't know how I was going to do it. So while I'm thinking about things, I got me a wire brush, putty knife, started scraping, a can of Rust-Oleum primer for rusty metal, and started cleaning the frame up on it. And you could see the end result 6 years later. It don't look bad. The best thing you can do, don't use a spray gun, use a brush on it. It's not a show truck. This stuff is the best stuff to use in a situation like this. Here you can see the pan, and it don't look too bad from this far away, but you start getting up a little closer to it, then you can start seeing the holes. The metal is rusted, it's very thin. Another thing that you want to look at while you've got this truck off of there are these shackles. I had to replace these when this truck was only 5 years old. The original ones rusted right off of it. These have been on there for well over 10 years, and they're still in good shape. To take the pan off, your first thought would be to chisel them rivets off of there. Good luck. Those things are tough. Not worth your time. You can have this pan off there in 5 minutes if you cut it right here at the 4 corners. This last picture shows you where I made the cut on one of these corners. I used a Sawzall with a hacksaw blade on it. Okay, I got my plan together, took all my measurements, and got everything cut and kind of dry fitting it. And this is pretty much what I'm going to do. Now, one of the things you have to take in consideration when you're making it is that charcoal box back there on the back of it. It actually mounts to that pan. So I added a piece of 1.5 by 1.5 angle behind that tube back there that it sets on. Got it measured up. Everything is welded in there. And the only thing I've got left to do is paint it up with some Rust-Oleum. I got some glossy black. Use the glossy on it and it'll look like this when you get done with it. If you made it this far in my video, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you got some good information out of it. Hit that like button if you did and spread the word. Subscribe to my channel. I got a lot of videos up there and I got a lot more coming. Hit that notification bell and get notified as soon as I put them up. In this video, I did this by myself. It's not that hard of a job, even taking the bed off of it. Don't get discouraged and think that it's something that's impossible for you to do. You can do it. I did. I'm an old man. But if you think that you may need some help, you never really want to work alone in the shop, go grab a friend, get the bed off of that truck, and have fun!